Your brand, your integrity to protect, mate.
Well, I saw what you did the other day. You put together basically a how to, and you've done this for free, right? Like a how to make video content, which is like,
Yeah.
okay, we're live. Man, I just love that because it's so in alignment with what I'm really trying to do with the community here. Is my whole focus is how can I help business owners to level up?
One thing that's helped me is having other business owners and part of Entrepreneurs Organisation. We just throw things around in a confidential manner, so you get to learn what people are doing and get to chat things through. It's been good.
Now with level 4, we've totally had to transform our own business to the point where it feels like I've just created another new business again.
Yeah.
What we can control is actually not that much. You know, the coronavirus is outside of our control, the government's rules outside of our control, the economy is outside of our control.
I think digital marketing at the moment, like you're doing, is about creating communities.
The bit that I always kind of talk about with people is there's kind of three key things. Firstly, what do you want people to think? What do you want people to feel? And what do you want people to do?
The difference being, we've got this winning mindset, growth mindset, where we can make cool, calm, clear decisions.
People do business with people they like and people they trust. And if you provide value, not expecting anything in return, things will come in return.
Kelly said it was nice.
Okay, all right. Good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, so that was a new little promo roll that I put together just because we've had some really epic people on in the last few days, and I think I just wanted to lift the tone a little bit and try to bring it a little bit more positive and a little bit more to, I guess, bringing us to where we're going. And now that we're getting closer to the end of the hopefully towards the end of the lockdown period. Obviously Thursday is the big announcement that kind of all waiting for as business owners, so we can know if we're going to be getting back to work or what. So yeah, good afternoon again, Jung. Good to have you, mate.
Cheers, mate. It's good to be here.
So today we're going to do a little bit. Obviously, digital marketing such a big topic, and so many facets of it. You've got your different channels, you've got your different messaging, you've got so much. So I think we're going to do a little bit of a run through today, specifically geared around understanding strategy first, and leads on from what Dan was saying yesterday around the videos. Whenever he goes to make a video for someone, he asks them, who do you want to see it? What do you want them to feel? And what do you want them to do? And I think that that's a really good kind of high level sort of take for what we're doing with today's topic, which is about like, who are you marketing to? Where are you going to market to them? And what's the action you want them to take? So, John, do you want to just give us a little bit of a starting point for that topic?
Yeah, I think any good business strategist or marketing strategist is going to tell you, your whole business exists, or your whole marketing campaign starts with the avatar, actually, right? And I think you might enroll in that thesis as well. So I actually recommend it in the first place, but because, I think so many people in this group, might be starting their businesses or just started out, they're kind of really early stage. And I know that there was a poll recently, and, people were wanting to know about marketing, digital marketing and like that. I think just to make sure we've covered the 101 foundation shit before we even get onto the avatar.
Yeah.
I think understanding pipeline mechanics and your channels, and then we get into your messaging, which is great. I think what the video guy says is about messaging is kind of great, and video is a method of messaging and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think when you get down to those 3 M's, that's after avatar.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's easy just to go, well, I want to get customers and I want to start throwing money down the Facebook, Google, whatever pipeline. But if we haven't kind of figured out a brand strategy and who we're trying to sort of bring into that into our our niche, our whatever it might be, it's going to be very easy to throw good money after bad, if you know what I mean. Just try to keep it running. Where if we take some a little bit of time beforehand and start to really figure out who we want to get to and what channels and how that fits from a strategic point of view of the type of business that we're in, we're going to get a far better result and a far cheaper result.
Yeah, 100,000,000%, you know, and something that because this is a 101 kind of video, you know, people might refer to it as a niche or even a hyper niche, a persona or an avatar, and they're kind of all really the same thing. You know, you just got to identify your market, who you're trying to serve your product or service to. And the better you know them, the better you will price your stuff, the better you will message your Facebook ads, your videos, you know, your blogs, your emails. You know, you will even dress appropriately because, you know, you're not going to really wear a t-shirt trying to sell, you know, $100,000 software product to, you know,
Corporate,
accountants
yeah.
and lawyers.
Yeah.
You know, or corporate world. So yeah, you've got to know your persona or your avatar. Yeah, before you know, embark on marketing and sales anyway.
So let's do this. Let's have a little bit of a look at the marketing funnel, a little bit of an overview, a little bit of understanding at the fundamental level exactly what the funnel is and how it works.
Yeah, you know, so marketing funnel, marketing pipeline. Funnel's kind of a newly popularized term around marketing. For those of you that have heard it thrown around, you know, what I'll say about funnel is typically it's a specific little campaign. Perfect example is a Facebook ad, and it has a call to action, makes you click something, and then it takes you to another page, and you might watch a video, download an ebook, and then that starts a series of emails hitting your inbox. And we've all, I think, experienced that to some extent. What we call a basic kind of Facebook ad funnel, or digital marketing kind of funnel. But the funnel, the pipeline that we're talking about today is understanding, you know, again at a kind of 101 high level, what marketing is. And you know, once you've developed your product or service, and a lot of us are kind of doing that now, you know, understanding under, you know, COVID lockdown level 4, 3, 2, 1, what our product or service might look like. So we're pivoting, so to speak. The next thing to do is go and tell people about it. And that's pretty much what marketing is. You know, it's really that simple. And that's one way we can distinguish between marketing and sales. Marketing is about generally broadcasting to, you know, mass, one to many. And sales is typically a lot more intimate at, you know, one-to-one kind of level. And that's where the conversions happen at the bottom of a funnel. So with the magic of TV, I've no, it's funny because I was just earlier today I was taking someone else through this, but this is a basic kind of marketing funnel, and you know, be careful. A lot of marketers out there will tell you that they came up with this, or there's 7 stages to it and all that kind of stuff. But again, just for the purposes of being real practical.
Yeah, I like it. There's no point in like trying to give you. This is about you guys understanding a concept. Once you understand the concept, then you can really start to apply it for your own business. And it's always easier to learn a new strategy and a new technique or whatever it might be by doing the basics first and doing the basics well, rather than trying to get as technical as you can and, you know, long campaigns and follow-up sequences and all of the stuff. It's right.
100% agree, man. You know, so we're just breaking this down because again, really want to get to what this is avatar or niche or persona. But yeah, basics around kind of marketing pipeline. You're going to have 3 stages. At the top, that's where you broadcast, you know, to 10,000, 10 million people, whatever. And that's what we call the attract phase of your marketing pipeline or marketing activities. And then they're going to engage with you, or a percentage of those initials people that you touch are going to engage with you. And this is where you want to nurture them. And you might hit them with Facebook retargeting, email campaigns. You might pixel them and follow them around with display ads on the internet, with Google and such. Either way, or you might pick up the phone and actually call them, right? But you go into a nurture phase where you say, hey, this is a new lead that's expressed interest, or it's clicked on something that I've kind of put out there in a digital marketing situation. And then, you know, ideally the last phase is kind of we convert typically after a sales engagement of sorts.
Yeah. So I think, so just before we, if anybody is kind of watching this stream now and they do have any questions or we're going too quick, like make sure you do sing out so that we can, connect with you and do the best to respond to that. So let's do this. Let's just talk a little bit about, you know, literally avatar, avatar persona, whatever we want to call it. Who are your people?
Yeah, right. So when you do get to advertise, because once you've identified this, we'll talk about channels maybe later. But yeah, look, we've had pretty constant viewers. I'm interested in you. Hello, how are you? Say what's up. Say something. But yeah, once you get there, right? It's demographically understand them, and I think you and I both share this thesis again or ethos. You got to demographically understand them. Do they live in Auckland or do they live in Africa? Because that's again eventually going to affect your messaging. Can I swear? Can I not swear? Should I wear a shirt? Should I not wear a shirt? Do they like pink? Should I wave with my left hand or my right hand? All that kind of stuff comes into play down at that messaging level. Yeah, but you want to know them demographically, but where the real value for your marketing effectiveness is in the psychographic stuff, right? It's around, things like we know that social media views typically at a higher level Tuesdays and Thursdays from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Because they typically work a job, they might have a family, that after dinner they get to sit down on the couch and have a wine and engage in some social media or what have you. And so all of these things will play in, and really at the core of it is your dominant buying motives or their emotive buying motives, and that's what we really want to get to. And it's not about extorting people. I'm not a big fan of kind of pain marketing.
I think it's a real kind of like simple exercise here is if you're not sure around your niche, around who you're really targeting, simple way to do it is just to go back and look at your last 10 invoices and who were the easiest to deal with, that gave you the most profit, and are most likely to spend more with you in the future, and then look at the similarities that those clients all have and start to really take note of them about, like you say, their psychographics, who they are as a person, the type of language, the type of things that they do, the where they spend their time, those kinds of things. And really, you want to really get to understand the way that they think and feel.
Yeah, 100 million%. That's where I was going, is to their real emotional side of things. And the other thing I'll add to your kind of criteria in terms of the last 10 invoices is who did you enjoy working with the most?
Yeah, cool.
I think if one thing, man, like if we're going to have to reinvent our businesses right now, pivot or innovate or diversify, whatever the hell the languages you want to use, shit, you might as well try and build a business that you enjoy. Sell products and services that you like to people that you like.
Yeah, it's good.
So, yeah, I think you got to build that into your avatar as well.
Cool. So let's talk a little bit about this attract, nurture, convert, and the mechanics of that, and I guess a little bit to platforms and that kind of stuff as well. Yeah. Yeah,
right. So if we come back to this, so that's your basic marketing journey for your customer or your lead, right? That's a prospect or a lead's journey kind of thing. And the next thing to consider is the kind of different ways that they come into your pipeline, right? Or engage with your brand or come into your world. And there's kind of 7 major channels. Obviously, there's a million different ways people can hear about you, but they can be summed up in these 7. So you got referrals, which is the most powerful and popular marketing tool. You look at Dropbox and their viral, rapid growth, and it was pretty much referral stuff. Existing, I think that's something that marketers miss often is you're, like you say, you go back to your last 10 invoices, or even customers that are 2 years old or they never did business with you, but they did get a quote. There's lots of opportunity there. So existing database. Strategic partnerships is number 3. Search traffic, which is typically Google. Social, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Snapchat, LinkedIn, whatever you. PR, which is kind of public relations, and that's kind of newspapers or getting into stuff.co.nz or what have you. And then there's cold. So those are your major channels. And depending on how they come in, again, knowing your avatar on the end of each of these channels is going to determine what tactics you use to attract them, what tactics you use to nurture them, and then what tactics you
right. You certainly wouldn't treat someone who you connected with on LinkedIn the same as you would on Snapchat or Instagram. It'd be a far more casual conversation on those last 2 platforms, where LinkedIn would definitely be more of a form, almost like an email type way of talking with them. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. Totally agree. And so once you do that, you know, you start to choose your channel. You know, I think a lot of us, and this is somewhat of a priority, and I think that's a mistake some of us make, you know, as small business owners, is like, oh, I've got to do Facebook marketing, or I've got to do Instagram marketing. It's blowing up. And it's like, you know, have you stimulated your word of mouth? If you've got 1 or 2 customers, can they go and tell 2 people? If you've got 50 customers or clients, can they go and tell 1 person each? You know, and what's in it for them? And that's how we can attract them, is like we can say, you know, is there a referral program? You know, for everyone you refer, get a week free at the gym. You know, or everyone you refer.
I'll be into that right about now.
Yeah, right. Post level 4 or level 3, depending on what they say about level 3. But you know, referral programs, and again, if you Google, you know, Dropbox rapid growth or Dropbox growth hacking, there's a beautiful story and how powerful referral programs are. They pretty much said, if you send this link to another person, you know, we'll give you another 2 megs free. So, and then that's when they went from like 1 million users to like, you know, 100 million users kind of thing.
Yeah.
Existing, you know, we know this in digital marketing, it's always easier, you know, to extend the LTV or the lifetime value of an existing or even a somewhat warm prospect than it is of a cold, to go in cost of acquisition of a new lead. So what can we do to stimulate our existing database? You know, and I think in these times, again, if you're innovating and you're developing new products and services, you can cross-sell, upsell, you know, resell, give discounts. You know, not that I'm a big fan of discounts, but there are opportunities for that. You know, strategic partners, again, is another channel, and I think that's a specific campaign of its own. That's the other thing I think we'll say about marketing. It's a campaign. People think I'm going to just chuck up an ad. And
it's about an ongoing message. That attraction phase is an ongoing message, whether it might be, I know Joe's watching, her and her husband have a really cool business where they fabricate drift cars, and so they've just started to use YouTube quite a lot more frequently, and it's freaking awesome, man. Like, they were out doing skids in the paddock on their lockdown, but like it's kind of thing you're like, oh, this is awesome, I like that. But people that are at the kind of that, you know, just hearing about DKM and they don't really know so much about what they do, but seeing something like that, they go like, oh, this is kind of cool. I'll give them, I'll check out another video, and it's kind of keeping them in that top of the funnel as a you know, as a potential future client down the track. And then obviously moving through to that nurture phase might be they attend one of the events, or they sort of maybe get involved in something that they do, and they get to it's that nurture phase is about developing more of a closer relationship with someone. It doesn't necessarily mean they're even going to convert, but it's getting them closer to the ability to turn into a paid client.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And see, I guess that's the thing, is that's why you need to understand this, because depending on your channel, your marketing strategy or your campaign, what it's going to look like is, again, understanding the mechanics of this marketing pipeline, and then your every channel has a very specific campaign.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And so you're talking about content marketing, you know, and dude, I mean, you know, from what I think you got it to like 500,000 views on YouTube, right? So when it comes to video marketing, like, you know, stuff, right?
It's closer to 3 million, but
My bad.
but yeah, no, yeah, but yeah, exactly. So it's about just understanding your customer, their needs first, and then kind of just helping them to work through a process of understanding your business a little bit more, so that when they are ready to do business with you, it's like, you know, you're not walking up as a completely cold lead and trying to close $100,000 sale, like, to use your example from before. So Stu's just passed up a question for us. He said, say you've got digital campaigns running or ended, and of course the data we capture from this is super important. What are 1 or 2 things that you look at first when it comes to post-campaign data analysis?
Well, there's a reason why the job titles popped up recently, you know, conversion rate optimist, you know, or director of conversion rates. And so at each stage through your funnel, Yep, they've got digital campaigns, you know, so we know that they're somewhere over here. It's kind of either Google related or social orientated. And so they're going to have multiple touch points. And that's where in digital marketing speak, you might hear that word conversion thrown around a lot. And it's because at each point, you know, did they convert on the ad? Did they convert on the landing page? Did they convert opening the email? So I'd go to, yeah, conversion rates. But ultimately, you know what it comes down to, Stuart, is CPQL, right? Cost per qualified lead.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as a digital marketer, I mean, if you're running this kind of analysis, and I'm not sure how complex your business or your marketing campaign is, but you really want to know, how much did I put into the marketing machine? You know, and what did it cost me to get that lead out?
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Russell Brunson really does that well, doesn't he? He talks about, you know, if I put $1 in, it brings 4 out at the bottom. How many dollars can I put in, right?
Yeah, and it's about, yeah, anything over a 3-to-1 kind of ROI on your marketing spend, especially in digital marketing. To be honest, you just want to feed it, right, as much as you can.
Well, until you have a scale challenge, but that's that's another conversation. Yeah. So I think like a simple way to answer that question is look at this campaign versus your last campaign and your previous campaign to that, and look for the data that's showing you what's really working. Whether it was the copy, the image, was it a call to action, was it a video? What was it that got you the highest number of conversions for the lowest cost? So the easy way to do that is the total cost of the ad set divided by the total number of actions taken, which is usually if you're using your Pixel, it'll be click through to call now, or click through to send an inquiry, or it'll be send a message to a chatbot or to your messenger. So that's your conversion, is the total dollar spend divided by the number of actions taken.
Oh, that's a Facebook backend guru right there. Does that answer your question? Yeah, you could take that question in a few different ways, actually.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope that helps too. If not, we can have a chat later. Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's. Did you want to touch too much on convert, or you're pretty happy with?
Oh, yeah. I mean, what do you say about that? You know, I think. Sorry, what I'll say about this too, and this is pretty much basic marketing stats, not necessarily limited to digital marketing. And that's this thing. This is marketing, right? And digital marketing is just a form of marketing. I think we forget that sometimes. It's this big scientific thing, but it's just talking to people, talking about how you can help them. What I will say is, you know, when people first hear of you, generally speaking, you know, 5% of your market is ready to buy right now. It's something like 65% are ready to buy, you know, within the next 18 months. And then you've got that remaining kind of 30% that'll pretty much never buy. So in saying that, you know, again, that nurture phase, once they've heard of you, your brand, your product, your service, and they've heard of you, you know, what can you do to nurture them? And that's kind of where emails come from, and YouTube videos and Facebook pixel retargeting videos and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, at some point, and this is where call to actions, there's another term we're going to hear thrown around a lot in marketing in general, but especially digital marketing. You know, give them an opportunity that when they do need the roof redone, or they do need the, you know, the car engine fixed or what have you, that you're available to them. And then you got to have a sales conversation, right? And I generally recommend, and I mean, Nick's a bit of a sales guru, but I generally mean, you know, something consultative. It's trying to understand, you know, what's driving, you know, their inquiry, what do they need, what do they want, and then trying to show how you can.
Yeah, I mean, without digging too deep into sales on the simplest level, it's an energy transfer, and it's about a simple needs analysis with your client, and then it's marrying up your solution to their needs, and doing it in a you know, a way where there's the least path of resistance for both parties to get on the simplest level. Yeah.
100% agree.
Yeah. So hey, look, I think that's kind of we've done pretty good on that topic today, Jung. Do you have any final closing comments you wanted to make?
Oh, don't overcomplicate it. You know, I know everyone's talking about, hey, how do I do digital marketing, man? And to be honest, mate, it's like what you said. It's really, think about it really, really simple. Be practical about it. It's about, man, I've created this thing of value, this product or service, this offering. So where are my people? well, who are they and where are they, and how do I get it to them? And if we're going to choose digital marketing, then you've got to know how to engage with them on that, you know, and don't make it overly salesy or anything like that, in my opinion. You know,
Yeah,
just
but
be yourself.
as Rich said when we had him on the other day, right now is not the time to be salesy. It's the time to be sensitive to people's needs, thinking about your messaging and what you're saying out there, and it keeps popping back to that solutions focused, you know. Yeah.
People have requirements, man. If you can meet them, just you know, humbly tell them about it.
Love it. Yeah. Awesome. Thanks,
Cool,
bro.
brother.
Talk soon.
Go your digital marketing.